These words from Virgil embody my whole teaching philosophy. Do not give in to adversity, but press on more bravely. I believe in perseverance and the value of always staying positive. My teaching philosophy resonates well with the low-control approaches, such as that of Jim Fay and David Funk, who believed in the love and logic module, as well as Barbara Coloroso's method for nurturing inner discipline. My teaching philosophy agrees that students are the makers of their own destiny, and they have the primary responsibility for controlling their own behavior. My role as the teacher is to be their guide in developing this capability. Not only will I be encouraging self-worth, self-concept, and dignity, I will be creating an environment wherein students develop their own independent problem-solving skills. I will share control with the students and will let them experience the results of their decisions, but also guide them to creating new decisions in order to solve the problem. But it always begins with them. I will strive for structure and not strictures in the classroom. Two of the biggest challenges would be, for one, dealing with disruptive student behavior in an appropriate manner. I always feel bad for chastising a student, and sometimes it feels daunting, and I also become afraid that the student won't really listen to me. Another is gaining the attention of all students before speaking, since my voice is sometimes too soft, and most of the time, they just keep talking over me. I would address these challenges by asking them why they were misbehaving in the first place, instead of telling them what they should be doing. And if the students reflect on their own reasoning, they can own up to what they've done wrong, and therefore make better decisions. They will also be less likely inclined to blame me for getting them in trouble. For the other one, in directing their attention, I would have to remind myself that I am a teacher and that these students rely on me. Therefore, I have to make myself heard. Not by shouting, but by maintaining a confident and audible volume. It puts less strain on me, and it doesn't induce them into increasing the noise and distraction that they're already doing. I could also wait for them, which is something I found really difficult to do, but it works. They realize that I'm waiting on them, and they immediately start paying attention. Having their undivided attention before speaking allows me to facilitate the class better. I can proudly say that throughout my placement, I maintained a friendly, positive, and professional disposition. The students always noticed that I was smiling, and my AD commended me on my positivity. I always cheered the students on, and even though they were complaining that it was too hard to do the work or way too much for them, I would always tell them to just keep going, just keep trying to do your best. And at one point, I praised a student for his work, and he said that I was only complimenting his work because I had to since I was the teacher. I let him know that I believed all my students were excellent, and that they show how great they are in a variety of ways, and he was one of them. Thoughtful planning would recommend that I have a script and contingency plan for all lessons or occurrences. It sounds absurd at times, but I recognize the need to plan for any disruptions I might face. Knowing the procedure I would follow avoids too much time being taken trying to figure out a solution. If something were to happen and I had to intervene, I would already have prepared myself for such an occurrence or such a scenario, and my management won't be in jeopardy. Thoughtful planning allows me to cater to each student's learning style so I can effectively implement differentiated instruction in my lessons. I have seen and experienced the value of actively engaging students. They are more able to remember what they've learned, and their willingness to participate is surprising. They prefer active engagement since it places them in a role of responsibility wherein they are teachers to their peers and teachers to themselves. It also gets them out of their seats, so they start complaining less and listening more attentively to the instructions since they know that they are going to take charge. Co-creating classroom rules would be one way to engage them in following through with expectations because they help determine how they want to succeed, and so they are accountable for their own discipline and their own learning environment. If some issue were to come up, all that I would need to do is to remind them that these are rules that they came up with, and so they should be aware of the consequences. I would also maintain a dialogue that'll allow them to think about creating a solution or how to endeavor to do better in the future. Thanks for listening.